Here with Antonio Pierce, winner of Super Bowl 42 with the Giants. So we're going with inside information here.
Right in the mix of it.
He knows this team better than just about anybody on the planet. And you know what it's like to follow a Super Bowl year. That's what the Giants did last season. The word that we kept hearing was that there was a sense of complacency after that. Do you buy that as the Giants' issues last year?
Well, I think that's one of the issues, but also I think it was just inconsistent play. When you watched them play defense last year, you saw a team that struggled throughout the year, one of the worst defenses in Giants history statistically with total yards. And then you saw a team with drops from wide receivers, inconsistent running game, relying a lot on Eli Manning, who I think as the season went on, found some struggles. Really, did he believe in his receivers enough? Was there constant belief in this team, especially when you look at the last 3 games? The amount of yards and the points to Atlanta Falcons, to Baltimore Ravens, even though they came back and won against Philly, they struggled. And that's when the Giants want to play their best, is at the end of the season they did not.
Yeah, they gave up a lot of points, and they only managed to score 14 points total in those 2 really abysmal losses as they lost 3 of their last 5. So what are the biggest questions that we're looking to answer here in training camp?
Well, one, everything's done now with Victor Cruz in that contract. You want to see the defense. There's a lot of turnover there. A lot of those guys are now gone. You're talking about the defensive line, these wide receivers. Are they going to be capable of putting up the same numbers they did the year they won the Super Bowl? And again, they got in the back door the year of the Super Bowl. You can't count on that every year that you can just turn that light switch on. So I think Coach Coughlin wants to see consistent play from his team.
Real sense of urgency here across the board. And because we're with the reporter that we're with today, Antonio and I really don't have to read the paper because he always shows us the headlines. So let's go to Sal Paolantonio. Morning, Sal.
And let's go right to the New York Post, and I'm glad you mentioned that. Giants put on notice, as you and Antonio said, a sense of urgency here with the New York Giants. General Manager Jerry Reese telling his entire organization, you know what? We're in the playoffs once in the last 4 years. That is not good enough. As a matter of fact, he's gone a little bit further and said, you know what? They're going to host the Super Bowl at MetLife Stadium in 27 Sundays, 189 days. So why don't we host it? Why don't we host the Super Bowl, be the first team as a home team in our own stadium on Super Bowl Sunday? And so what they're going to do in the locker room is have a countdown calendar day by day, counting down to February 2nd for the Super Bowl, to make everybody on this team realize that there's a daily sense of urgency. And right today, it starts on this practice field.